It's the first day of November, designated Eat Jamaican Month in 2013 by the Ministry of Agriculture. Welcome to this, another Friday edition of Jamaica Magazine. In today's show, food is being served, so hang around.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is attributing the significant drop in the island's youth unemployment rate to programs initiated by the government since 2017. The Prime Minister asserts that the HOPE program, Jamaica National Service Corps, and aligning the Heart Trust NTA's training to industry needs have all contributed to the significant drop in youth unemployment.
That has reduced the friction in the labor market. So persons who are properly trained find jobs more easily because their training aligns with the jobs that are available. It is gratifying when you see the various statistics and metrics go in the right direction.
Mr. Holness was addressing Tuesday's sitting of Parliament as he opened the debate on amendments to the Human Employment and Resource Training Act 2019. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica reports that in July, the youth unemployment rate stood at 20.2%, a 2% decline over the same period last year. The rate for males dipped to 16.8% compared to 17.3% in July 2018. Female unemployment, meanwhile, stood at 24.5%, 3.8% lower than the corresponding period last year. Overall unemployment in the country was a record low of 7.8%. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is confident that the merger of government's training entities will ensure that no Jamaican youth is left behind. In Parliament Tuesday, Mr. Holness opened the debate to amend the Human Employment and Resource Training Act 2019. The amendments will see to the creation of the Heart Trust National Training and Service Agency, NTSA. This will be achieved with the merger of the Heart Trust NTA, the National Youth Service, the Apprenticeship Board, and the Jamaican Foundation for Lifelong Learning.
Until we took the decision to merge the entities, many unattached youth were turned away from one agency and redirected to another, and in the process, many fell through the cracks. Now, every single person who knocks on the door of the Heart Trust NTA is given a roadmap for a productive life and a meaningful future through training and development.
The Prime Minister says the 17-clause Amendment Act will streamline training processes and clearly establish the rights and obligation of stakeholders. Amendments to the Act are consistent with the Public Sector Master Rationalization Plan to create a more efficient and effective public sector. The government's Brain Builders Centers initiative has received a $70,000 grant through the Japan-funded Inter-American Development Bank (IDB) Technical Cooperation Program. The Brain Builders Centers initiative is executed by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. It provides stimulation programs within early childhood institutions for children up to 3 years old. Programs Manager for the Education System Transformation Program, Dania Facey, says the grant is being used to provide stimulation resources for 10 early childhood institutions that have the Brain Builders Initiative.
Those nurseries, those creches that we have in our communities that provide those early stimulation opportunities for children. What the project has been able to do is provide well-needed resources, the little dolls, the mirrors, the balls, those things that children need to play with in a very targeted way with a caregiver.
Ms. Facey made the statements during a JIS think tank session on Tuesday. Among the projects being implemented through the grant is a training program for caregivers who work at early childhood institutions. Public hospitals that do not have the capacity to provide radiology and diagnostic services are now partnering with private institutions to fulfill these medical requests. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement Tuesday during a question and answer session in Parliament. He said access to the services from 10 private providers began on October 7.
framework agreements were signed with the following service providers on the 25th of September 2019. Apex Radiology, Dan Hope Radiology, Dynamic Imaging Services, Erin Radiology, Imaging and Intervention Associates, Chris Radiology, North Coast Imaging, Radiology West, St. Jago Ultrasound and X-ray, University Hospital of the West Indies.
The cost of the services are covered by the government and are available only to patients registered within the public health system. Test procedures and investigations covered under the agreement are CT scans, MRI scans, ultrasounds, colonoscopy, and urogenital endoscopy, fluoroscopy, mammogram, and X-ray. And finally, Minister with Oversight for Education, Youth and Information, Karl Samuda, is urging University of Technology academic staff to accept the school's offer for the settlement of outstanding retroactive payments for 2018-19. The staff have been off the job since October 24. They've so far rejected a proposal which would see them being paid $400 million of the funds owed to them for 2018-2019. $250 million would come from the Ministry of Education's budget, while the rest would be funded by UTEC. This $400 million is in addition to the $1 billion approved for the university in the supplementary estimates approved earlier in October. Minister Samuda says the offer is the best the ministry can afford to make at this time and urged the educators to accept the offer and allow classes to resume. The teachers are represented by the University of Technology Jamaica Academic Staff Union. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits, and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces, and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled, or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced, and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
Can you believe that this year is the 16th anniversary of Jamaica's Grow What We Eat, Eat What We Grow campaign? This national call to action was launched by the Jamaica Agricultural Society in 2003 to encourage all Jamaicans to plant and consume more local foods. In our next feature, we highlight some of Jamaica's most nutritious and tasty food offerings.
Jamaicans are running away with the event. Can Trinidad and Tobago take the second spot? Asafa Powell, Jamaica, gold, 37.10.
World record! Born and fed in Jamaica, homegrown athletes sustained by the foods of the soil, enriched to reach international heights of glory.
This is a fabulous moment in Jamaican and Caribbean track and field history.
An agricultural sector steeped in a tradition of excellence, ripe for expanded production, energized to tap into new markets. A nation of champions. Food. For most, that probably means the broad label for just about every edible item we humans consume. Now, Jamaicans fully agree to this, but in the lingua of the island, food is also a specific term for the side dishes that accompany the main course of Jamaican meals. You might also hear them called ground or grung provisions: yam, potato, sweet or Irish, dasheen, cocoa, cassava, and others that are staples of the island's agricultural output. Farmers, supported by government and strong private groups, plant and harvest these crops for the discerning Jamaican consumer and a reliable export market. As the world marvels at the lightning speed of the likes of Usain Bolt and Veronica Campbell-Brown, many have asked, is it in the food? Perhaps the yellow yam?
969.
When we roast the yellow yam, when we roast the yellow yam, and we slice it in a two, and we slice it in a two.
The skin is brown, sometimes black, and some say scaly. Peel away the outer layer and get to the heart of its starchy goodness. There you'll find fulfillment and a taste that is as distinctive as the indescribable talent of our trailblazing athletic stars. More importantly, in the heart of our yams are essential nutrients for healthy living: vitamins C and B6, potassium, manganese, fiber, and iron. These nutrients converge in several varieties of the Jamaican yam, a tuber with off-white, purple, white, yellow, and sometimes red flesh, depending on the variety. For every type of yam, there is a uniquely Jamaican name, like Renta, Yampi, Moonshine, or Afu. Whatever the name, they're all edible, just so long as you cook them first. And with thousands of acres of fertile land, yam production is an island-wide vocation in Jamaica. But you might be surprised, or not, to know that the most popular yam-producing parish, Trelawney, is also the home of the world's fastest man.
Corrected to 969. The relax. Usain Bolt. Tremendous running by this man.
Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night.
From jerk to curry recipes, Jamaican cooking is all about the spices, sourced right on the island. With the support of the state entity responsible for managing all things agricultural, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Jamaica's spice producers are on the verge of stamping a bolder mark on the competitive international industry, with many programs unfurling to increase the production of traditional spices like ginger, turmeric, nutmeg, and pimento, and non-traditional spices such as hot peppers and onion. And the possibilities are bountiful. Take ginger and turmeric, for example. Both grow with relative ease almost anywhere on the island. In fact, travel to some places in Jamaica and you can find turmeric growing wild, unfettered by any environmental condition that could stunt its growth. Whether for use as a condiment, for its healing properties, or simply for coloring, consumers worldwide can't seem to get enough turmeric. Global trade in turmeric has been trending up, and so have prices. As for Jamaican ginger, it has long been considered among, if not the best in the world. Current global demand for Jamaican ginger is estimated at 21,000 metric tons in its fresh form and 4,200 tons dried, and there's room for growth. Jamaica is a tiny giant in the world of agro-processed foods. Island producers are dishing out big, unique flavors, employing ingenuity and utilizing the support of state agencies to steadily eke out more of the international market for these goods. Jamaican companies like Central Food Packers are making a mark on this agricultural offshoot, exporting quality canned, bottled, and baked foods to markets in North America, the United Kingdom, Canada, and the Caribbean. Included in the mix are mild to spicy hot sauces, jams and jellies, a must if you want to proclaim your Jamaicanness. Ackee, delivered to you in a can, and for a bit of green delight, callaloo canned in brine. Then there are some unique Jamaican spreads for your breads and biscuits, like a dab of Solomon Gundy, or a spoonful of delicious mango, sorrel, or tamarind chutney. And let's not forget the roots wines. Jamaica's value-added agro-processors are engaged in other sweet pursuits. Companies like Honeykiss are churning out all-natural honey confections. As they'll tell you, and you can taste for yourself, pure Jamaican wildflower honey is infused with just a choops of natural unique fruits, vegetables and spices, ginger, Blue Mountain coffee, pimento, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper. Sweet, aromatic, rich, strong are entirely inadequate labels. Have a taste of authentic Jamaican honey, and what you'll get is a pure, honest flavor, aroma, and taste, and medicinal benefits that make healthy living absolutely enticing. Whether your delight is tea, coffee, or maybe cocoa, Jamaican value-added producers have carved out a reputation for delivering only the best. Jamaica is known for its lush landscapes, revered for its music, celebrated for its track stars, and the world is hooked on our coffee. And it's hardly surprising. The species of choice in the Jamaican coffee industry, Arabic coffee, is widely accepted as producing the far superior cup. And Blue Mountain is the brand best loved by coffee connoisseurs from near and far, commanding high prices wherever it's sold. Cultivated high up in the misty blue-hued mountains of the island, maturing in rich volcanic-based soil, only the best bright red cherries are hand-picked, sun-dried, stored, cured, hulled, polished, sized, hand-sorted and packaged to bring the highest quality coffee to your tables. The end product is a cup of exceptionally balanced, exotic and intense aroma with an intricate range of flavor notes that is said to include a subtle hint of herbs, spice and chocolate. Let's take a tea break. Authentic, Jamaican, instant, Salada teas are among a thriving tea market that bags flavors familiar to most people and countries, mixed in with some distinct Jamaican blends. Now for another sweet treat. The cacao plant, or Jamaican cocoa, is a wide-branching evergreen tree from which the world-famous Jamaican cocoa, chocolate, and cocoa butter are produced. Local companies like Chocolate Dreams are milking the lessons learned from centuries of Jamaican cocoa production to turn out sweet delights for every palate. Besides being a pleasure to the taste buds, these products benefit from the many nutritious compounds of the Jamaican cocoa beans. From the mild stimulant of the caffeine alkaloid theobromine to its natural fat starch and the natural amphetamine phenylethylamine, Jamaican cocoa is a folk remedy for maladies from wounds to fevers, coughs, burns, and listlessness. Its fat, Jamaican cocoa butter, is used in confections, in manufacturing soaps and cosmetics. Sweet, medicinal, another Jamaican agri-pursuit poised for new investment, ready to compete with the best anywhere in the world. So, what's your delight? Whatever it is, Jamaican farmers and end producers are uniquely and creatively positioned to deliver. In this land of wood and water, champions are not just made for the tracks, they're also found in the fields and in the shopping carts of discerning consumers the world over.
So many wish they could visit our shores. We live where they vacation. Brand Jamaica beckons all from the four corners of the earth.
Well, as a Jamaican, I have great pride in selling it. Your pride that you sell Jamaica with is something that it rolls off. Jamaica has so much to offer, and every time I have the privilege of bringing an executive down to Jamaica, an executive from an airline or a tour operator or a travel agency, and you take them across the country, you know, the pride that they said, wow, I can't imagine, especially when it's their first time. Wow, I love this.
Build it. Cherish it. Our wealth is Brand Jamaica.
Our annual GIS Heritage School Tour is 9 years old this year. As customary, members of our team traveled to several schools across the island to increase cultural awareness and pride. Here is a look at some of the institutions that we visited during this year's tour.
Our heritage, a great legacy. That's the theme for this year's annual staging of the GIS Heritage School Tour. Want to know what this year's tour is all about? Come with me. For this year's 9th staging of our Heritage School Tour, team members of the GIS continued the agency's mandate to spread cultural awareness and pride among Jamaica's young minds. Over 30 schools were visited across Jamaica, and today we bring you highlights. We start things off with our visit to the Enfield Primary School in St. Mary.
Welcome to Enfield Primary. People, come here quick. Come here quick. Cause my granny tell me a story about when she did little bit. She used to wash her clothes with dry can stick and drink her tea out of condensed tin.
When you do road, me have to wear the good thing then. The good clothes and the good shoes then. Good chain and the good ring then. Me shopping at the mall and the good sword then.
As customary, the students we visited presented some of the best Jamaican dub poems, songs and dances you can find. And our team ensured that pertinent information about aspects of our culture was shared. Before long, it was time for our lively question and answer session, where the students exhibited what they had learned and were awarded for their correct answers.
I learned that Jamaica is the first country to grow banana and to ship it around.
You deserve a special prize.
The students and teachers were also given information about the JIS Heritage Essay Competition and the guidelines they need to follow.
You can go on the JIS website, click on the link, and everything is there that will help you to write the essay. You don't need to go anywhere else.
And before we journey to our next location to do this all again, there was one more thing we needed to do.
It gives me great pleasure to present to you and to Enfield Primary this package of publications that's researched and printed and published by the Jamaica Information Service. It's about our heritage and culture.
Culture. In our music, about Marley. We language, Louise Bennett. We dancing, Abu Culture, Mr. Culture.
We hope that these books and posters will definitely assist the school and school library and assist you with your assignments and different activities that you have.
You want to make Jamaica the place of choice too? Live, work, are they right?
They took us from our beautiful motherland and packed us on the ship like sardines in a can. You are no longer Africans, shouted one white man. You are heading straight to the Caribbean. Shyla, you didn't know the first inhabitants that came to the Caribbean? Yes, man, they were the
After sharing aspects of our culture with students at White Horses Primary, we were pleased about the bravery and brilliance of the students. We were even introduced to another bright star at the institution.
I am the RGR Gleaner Spelling Bee champion for St. Thomas. One of my role models is Marcus Garvey, our national hero, because he was very intelligent and he used his intelligence to fight for our freedom and do good.
And just before we handed over our posters to the school, one of our team members shared this word of encouragement with the students.
All those dreams that you think that you can't achieve, think them and work towards them, because you too can become larger than life.
This is the land of my birth. This is the land of my birth. This is Jamaica, my Jamaica, the land of my birth.
So what you saw today was just a taste of our JIS Heritage Tour this year. Keep watching Jamaica Magazine to see the other schools that we visited. Bye!
It's the 9th staging of the JIS Heritage Competition, and this year we're talking slavery and reparation. Entries are now open, so listen up. Primary and prep school students, this is what you should do. Imagine that you are one of the 7 national heroes. Make your case for Jamaica to be compensated for the effects of slavery. Answer this question in an essay of 400 to 500 words and submit using the application form on our website, jis.gov.jm. Entrants must be aged 9 to 12 years old. Secondary students, the poster competition is for you. Submit your digital or illustrated posters to depict the theme, Jamaica, a case for reparation. The photo competition is open to tertiary students in accredited Jamaican institutions. Send us a photo, also representing the theme, Jamaica, a case for reparation. All entries should be submitted using the application form on the JIS website. For more information, contact 876-922-3590, extension 2137 or 2132. You may also email heritageessay@jis.gov.jm, heritageposter@jis.gov.jm, and heritagephoto@jis.gov.jm. Go ahead, express yourself in the JIS Heritage Competition 2019.
It's Eat Jamaican Month. Have you stopped to think about ways in which you can increase your intake of local Jamaican produce? If not, we have the perfect idea. Become your own food farmer. Here's how. 1. Start your own container garden. Not only is this a great farming method for persons with limited space to plant, there are many herbs, vegetables, and fruits that grow well in containers. All you need are seeds and a flower pot that can be placed on your balcony, patio, doorstep, or in your backyard. 2. Practice no-dig vegetable gardening. As the name suggests, this preserves the overall structure of the soil and leads to improved plant growth. It consists of layers of organic material that are stacked up to form a rich, raised garden area. All kinds of vegetables and fruits can be cultivated in a no-dig gardening bed, such as pumpkins, potatoes, and beans. And finally, plant a tree. Fruit trees are surprisingly easy to grow in a backyard setting, and they can provide many years of nutritious fruits for you and your household. But the best thing about fruit trees is that they can be planted at any time of year. So there you have it, 3 easy farming techniques to help you become a successful farmer who is surely helping Jamaica to become a better place to live, work, raise families, and do business. And just like that, we have arrived at the last page of today's Jamaica Magazine. But don't worry, you can turn the pages with us again tomorrow and every day after. While you wait, visit our website, jis.gov.jm for daily video uploads and news stories. You may also follow us on our social media sites for the latest information on government programs and initiatives. I'm Audrey. Have a fruitful weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.